Yeah, everyone. It's Thermite, and it's time for Nekogahara, Stray Cat Samurai, Volume 1 by Hiroyuki Takei. So, I am so insanely excited to get started with this. I really like Hiroyuki Takei's work. I've seen the anime for Shaman King, haven't read the manga. I've seen like pages here and there of the manga, and it looks cool. I still just haven't gotten around to it. But the main reason I really like him is because of Karakuri Doji Ultimo, which is it's built as like a collaboration with Stan Lee of Marvel Comics fame. And I don't really know what Stan contributes to it, but like every part of Ultimo has been amazing. And like if Nekogahara has like at least the arts and like the I don't know, like the character dynamics of Ultimo, I think I'd be happy with that. The other thing I know about it is, well, I know it's about like anthropomorphic cats who are also like samurai. Like Stray Cat Samurai is a really good descriptor of what I've seen of the series. I haven't seen very much at all. This is like entirely blind. I'll tell you if I've seen a page before, basically. But the thing that really hooked me was a page I saw somewhere where it was like, I don't even remember what the pun was, but like it was a very clever pun because like it was a play on like a stray cat and like a Ronin. Like clearly they're calling him a stray, but like, it was meant to be a Ronin. It's everything I've ever wanted because I love anthropomorphic animals, and cats especially are my favorite animal. So anthropomorphic cats manga would be like the greatest thing in the world. Anyways, let's get right into this. I have been staring exclusively at this side of the screen, so let's finally look at the other side. A belled cat. Leave it here. You haven't had a master in ages. Oh. So, okay, so I guess he is like a Ronin. Like, or a stray cat. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, that's amazing. Like these sort of like splotchy slashes are something that I haven't really seen that much in Ultimo itself, but like the covers kind of have this sort of feel to them every once in a while. It's so well done though. Like also I really do appreciate that they didn't try to like redraw these sound effects, because I feel like this is going to be a series where you can't redraw very much. Like the aesthetic of it is so good. Norachio. A prayer for your souls. Oh my god, that's okay. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh my god. I'm sorry if this sounds so over the top, but oh my gosh, a prayer for your souls. I never thought I would see something like this in manga. I never thought manga could be this good. All right. I'm almost a little happy that most of the series is going to be in black and white, because if we had a lot of color pages, I think I would lose my mind. I don't think I'd be able to physically handle the idea of a series like that was drawn like this. No, I don't think manga as a medium could do that. That's only within the realm of like Western comics. Oh, okay. So this is our surf class. I forget what the Japanese word for that is, but yeah, these are the common folk. He's a disgrace to Tom Kind. Oh, right. These puns are going to be amazing. Doggone it. Times like this, a cat's just got a drink just to keep going. I assumed that it was all cats just from, like, the name Nekogahara, but I wonder if dogs do exist. Because otherwise, I guess that could just be a pun on, like, something that is bad. Cup of chill tea, please. Oh, he's got a bell, the symbol of a kept cat. So, it's gotta... Oh man. Like, I'm so interested in what this means. Like, because of the way it's presented, I assume it's gotta be like just, kept as in, he's got a master, like as in he's got like, a lord, like he's got a daimyo. But no, now he doesn't. Because I can't imagine there are like humans in this world, right? There's no way. Okay, so we're in the post Sengoku era, I suppose. Like the post-war era. Like post-war, but samurai still exists. It's in a... Yeah, this is amazing. Because like it is like it's shaped in the same way as a cat dish, but it's also like that is the way that sake is served. Oh my god. Cats who live under people do live a different life. Okay, so people, whatever people are, do exist. Truly delicious tea. Okay, he's gonna go in there, right? He's definitely going in there. He'll use his bones for medicine, his skin for a shamisen, his fur for a riding brush. Oh, oh my gosh, an evil Siamese cat. This is incredible. The only disposable piece of a stray is his soul. That is one hell of a line. The aesthetic of the series is amazing. Also, I don't know if he's actually done like a series that is set in normal like ancient Japan, but I wonder if this is the closest Hiroyuki Takei has gotten to that, because both other series I know of him from like include segments from like ancient Japan, but they're not like primarily set in ancient Japan. Or I keep saying ancient. I mean, like, the samurai era. As a matter of fact, I just hired a skilled stray. Okay. Okay, so for a minute there, I thought he might have hired Norachio, but I think he hired just like some other cats. And that cat's gonna go and try to destroy the tea house, and then Norachio is gonna come back and go like, oh, hey, so you want to fight, do you? Papa is the greatest. Okay. I don't see it that way. If they really hate the taxes, all they'd have to do is leave here and stand on their own paws. But they don't, and it's for no other reason than it's easier to live off the people's scraps. That's true. Like, that is the core of the argument of just like, hey, if you don't like it where you live, go somewhere else. Like, part of it, I assume, is that they are impoverished. Like, it'd be just difficult to go. But at the same time, it is like there's a tipping point, and clearly they haven't hit the tipping point of like it's worse to just stay here than it would be to go out there and let the winds take us where it may. As strays, the power that people bring with them is enormous. Even though they're strays, they're still being they're still living off of the scraps of people. Also, that's definitely a pit bull, right? I mean, that could be a cat actually, but I'm not totally sure. Ah. We forget what it really means to be a stray. That's such a clever analogy, because I live in a city that has a big like stray cat problem. Like there are just cats like in the streets. It's better now than it was like a couple of years ago. But there's always that contradiction of like, well, they're strays, but at the same time, like cats are I believe the only species that domesticated themselves. Human beings did not domesticate cats. Cats intentionally decided, all right, I'm going to go hang out with humans and I'm going to eat, pests and whatnot. I'm not going to attack them. And due to that, humans were like, okay, well, without breeding them, like there are actual cat breeds that have been domesticated, but like overall, cats like intentionally, like human beings didn't go out and like find cats and go, all right, so we're going to take this wild animal and we're going to train them to like, to hunt mice for us. Cats did that themselves. And so cats and humans have this very strange relationship that, now that I think about it, fits really well with the samurai story. Like, especially this entire analogy, this idea of like, yeah, a stray cat can go anywhere, but a lot of the time they will choose not to. Or like, there are some cats. I mean, I don't want to speak for all cats. I'm not every cat, but a lot of cats will like stick around a specific like sort of hunting grounds instead of like exploring the world, just because like it's easier. It's like, okay, this is a good place to get food. It's warm in the winter. All right, I'll just like hang around this general area, even though they don't have to. And I don't think there's something wrong with that, but at the same time, that does kind of contradict the human ideal of what a stray is. Also, I'm not going to say it very often because I don't really like the art in most series. Doesn't really stand out to me, but man, this is some beautiful art. I wonder who this is. It's a poor spot of land, but the soil isn't bad. It means stray for all ages. Our time together was so short, but even now in my later years, I remain Norachio. Oh, that face. Oh, meow, Landlord-sama. Okay, so he did try to hire Norachio. That's what that was. Oh, your master lost a mine in the war. When that happened, I became your master, you mangy mog. No, he's not going to do it, though. Don't worry. Do not worry. There's no way Norachio is going to do it. Oh, man, these are some big fat kitties. Can he? I don't think he can fight them all off. This is, like, he is quite severely outnumbered. Maybe he can make a break for it, though. Oh, meow indeed. Oh. None of this clatter is willing to risk his life to challenge me. Ah, the whole lot of them flocked here to get at your person's money. Those who have forgotten what it means to be a stray cannot slay me. Ah, my master told me conceit is what makes a cat a cat. Oh my god. Right, to have conceit is to have a true soul free of guile. Never coughing up his secrets, never begging, and never attempting to curry favor. A cat carves his own path and earnestly continues to follow it. That is what makes a cat beautiful. Oh my gosh. He really is like, oh my gosh, he is parting a sea of cats. What a, like, I'm so in love with him already. He is the exact kind of cat I want. I personally don't own a cat, and part of it is because I am a very fragile human being. I think that if I had a cat and that cat rejected me, like, I wouldn't try to train it. I think I would just cry and, like, I feel like I would go to a very dark place if I was rejected by my own cats, which, as far as I understand, is something cats do, like, constantly, like, every day. You will be rejected by your cat and then occasionally accepted. But that's kind of what I love about cats. So I don't know if I could live with a cat. I once heard tell of a legendary cat who was in Omiao province during the war. These puns are amazing. Like, most furries do not have a they cannot lay a finger on this level of sheer punnage. He once jumped on an enemy person's throat and bit him to death. They called him Norachio, the God Slayer. So yeah, humans do exist. Like, as far as I can tell, this is supposed to be a human, and he straight up killed a human being in order to protect his master. Ah. Crush that pipsqueak with the weight of your enormous girths. Oh no, the L&R brothers! Should you die before you reach the end of your path, if that path was one you could take pride in, you will have nothing to regret. Oh. Ideals are so. I love so for nature. That's okay. That's also a really cool way of breaking it down. Like, I've seen a lot of different series try to like where the manga itself, like the Japanese manga, will like give the etymology of a word or say like, you know, it's made of these two characters. And I find that a lot of time it's very clunky. And even for a series like this, like, I wouldn't have really batted an eyelash if they decided to bring up the characters themselves. But I think this breakdown was very natural. Nature is the physical world. Nothing is more natural. Did he pierce both of them? Oh my god, I think he did. He hit both of them with the same spear. Or no. Did he? No, never mind. I see what happens. So he forced his, like, he dodged, brother one stabbed his other brother, and then he dodged it. Okay, I see. That part of the spear looks like it's sticking out of him. Though I guess it could be just going through his like armpits, perhaps. The fact is, death may be easier than living in this world, but I must ask, are you ready to be free? Oh, that's true. Once this happens, like, she's gonna have to be on the run. I assume the two of them are gonna have to, like, travel together after this, because a human being, like, you know, a person, I should say, because we don't even know if people are humans or not. They could just be, you know, like, people as in some other thing. But, yeah, they're gonna be hunted down once they kill this guy. Ah, she accepted it. That's what it means to be a stray. Ah, without fear, without, you know, that's one thing I absolutely love about samurai flicks, because Japan has this, especially, like, you know, feudal Japan, like, you know, the samurai era. Like, there's this powerful understanding of, like, you know, what is okay, like, what is the social norm. And so, like, you know, killing a high level authority isn't just you know, it's not just something of like, oh, you know, I've killed someone important. It's specifically like, you know, you have violated the law, you have violated the order, you have violated, like, depending on how high up they are, even the will of God. And I think, like, the fact that people in this world, like, people as they keep calling them, are also considered to be like gods. I think that's a beautiful way of putting it. Because, like, that speaks so well to the samurai aesthetic. I'm sorry if I'm saying the same things over and over again at this point, but just, it's so perfect. It works so well. All right, time for the looting. If you want treasure, you can win with your own hands. Oh, okay, yeah. I see. He didn't do anyone favors. As long as everyone understands that, it's all good. You want to cut me down, you can come kill me wherever you wish. A prayer for your souls. Oh my god, was that one chapter? How dare you, you lowly cat. This is something else that, actually, I wouldn't say that Ultimo does it a lot, but this thing where, like, you get a shot like this, and then this is the exact same shot. Like, the character isn't repeating himself, but, like, it's just the same thing, but with a bigger page. That's super cool. Also, this looks like it wasn't done in color before, which, oh man, I'm kind of sad that this, like, if this was in color, I'm really sad that they didn't keep it in color for the volumes. Like, I've always been under the, like, not the impression, I've always been of the belief that for digital releases, they should always put in the color versions. For physical releases, then yeah, sure, I understand. For the sake of, like, keeping costs down, like, whatever, make them black and white, that's fine. But there's no sense in not using the color versions for, like, the digital version. Like, I guess for older series where they have to, like, actually, like, manually clean both versions, yeah. But for something like this, where I know for a fact that Hiroyuki Takei does do some digital stuff, like, I have to imagine, like, like, the title, for instance, I assume that's, like, pasted on. Like, I assume that you could, like, edit around it or whatever. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say, basically, is just I wish that all digital manga had their color pages in color all the time, every time, all day, every day. And it makes me very upset that they don't. Especially Viz, actually. I brought this up before, but for the English Weekly Shonen Jump, like the digital version, they always, like, they do take the like the color versions, like, of color pages from Japan, and they do put them in the, like, the 99-cent version that comes out every single week. But for the volume releases, they don't. Which means that the only way to see, like, certain color spreads officially in English, like, outside of, you know, like an art book or something, but, like, the only way to see, like, to read that chapter with the color pages in color is to have already had a subscription to the English Weekly Shonen Jump for, like, that period where that chapter came out. Because you also can't buy back issues. Like, I really want to see what the early My Hero Academia color pages looked like, but I can't. I legally can't. Because I can't buy them, and I don't believe anyone was, like, ripping those pages either. So, yeah, I can't do it. It's the worst. Anyways, sorry, let's finally get into chapter 2. After all that time ranting, I also believe that this doesn't have, like, scans, or I've heard that there are RAWs out there, but I don't want to hold this up any further, so I'll check it out later. And then for the volume 2 or 3 reactions, if RAWs of these color pages are out there, I'll look them up when we get to a color page, because I want to see these color pages. Hiroyuki Takei is amazing. All right. Oh, it was a dream. Okay. So it was a metaphor. For a person, he's rather persistent. So I assume he is still being, like, stalked by, what was his name? I didn't think that I'd really be thinking about the landlord after this situation, so I didn't, like, write it down or anything. But yeah, our Siamese boys master. I assume they'll bring it up again if it's important. Oh man, this is gloomy as hell. Like, anytime a series uses this screen tone for the sky, I love it. It is a screen tone. Like, I've seen this exact thing done before. So, actually, I don't know. I remember this swipe, but I don't know if I remember the rest of it like this. Like, this part that kind of looks like a face, sort of. I don't remember that. Hiroyuki Takei may have just made this himself. Like, he does do really good brushwork, so I can't imagine it'd be difficult for him to do it. To just, like, scribble on a piece of paper for a bit, and then make it digital. Don't tell me you knew I was coming and now you're trying to pick a fight, are ya? The mighty Amemura Short-sama. Oh, and he's got one of those, you know, the ball and hammer things. Meouch. Meouch indeed. Okay, so yeah, he's a deadbeat. He's not really a cool guy. Like, he seemed like a poser already, but still. The one kept by the incomparable Shakigawa. I don't remember Japanese history very well. Like, are their masters actual... I don't think so. Yeah, so I guess it is fictional. I was wondering for a moment, like, are these supposed to be, like, the pet cats of, like, the actual samurai of the Sengoku era? But I don't think so. Listen, kiddies, take my advice and get out of here before you get hurt. Wait, why are they just, like, look, why do they have their paws on it? No, this isn't okay. This is not allowed. My symptoms are getting worse. Okay, so we're doing that samurai story. Like his senses are growing duller, or like he's got like some sort of crippling condition that is making him weaker and weaker. But like due to his powerful skills, he is still incredibly strong. I'm gonna sell it and turn it into this amazing catnip passport to Dreamlands. Oh my god! Of course, their version of opium is catnip. Ah, your holier than thou lectures won't mean a thing to us. No cat in this town can resist that dangerous pastime. Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them. Like, especially this era of Japan is like the oppression is so intense. I like as much as I morally am like, oh well, clearly you need to just work harder. You can't just like use drugs to escape. At the same time, like I'm saying that as someone who is like who hasn't had to face down that level of just sheer pressure. I imagine if I were in that situation, I'd probably want anything that could, take the edge off for a bit. Whether he's meant to or not, he's taken all their motivation, made them his slaves. He's got so many, like, cat girls. Also, I guess fish do exist. Also, fish are giants. Either fish are giant, or all of these cats are very small. I guess that's also a thing. Because we did, like, when we saw that shot of Norichio, like, attacking that human, clawing out that human's throat to protect his own master. Like, it seemed like the person was really big. So I guess they are all supposed to be like the size of normal cats, which means that this would be the size of a normal fish. And I assume like the world as we know it does exist. It's just like this is like a cat-sized, like, these are all cat-sized villages. I'm gonna surpass my old man and rule as catnip king. All right. So he's getting the nip himself, I suppose. And just what I expected from Fat Cat's good for nothing son. This is quality stuff. That's interesting. So yeah, like he is using it to take the edge off. Oh, that's so cool. Like he is like an addict, or at least a former addict, or he's struggling with addiction. Like you're never a former addict, right? The mess of old Tom is mine. I'll kill him with his own sword. Oh boy, I'm so excited to see how in the world he's gonna take this kid down. I assume he could do it just barehanded, like just. I mean, because he's got kind of scrawny arms, I imagine he could probably just walk up and grab the sword out of his paw. If you insist, I'll chew you to pieces so you can never stand in my way again, Red Warrior. Okay, so this is a thing that he sees all the time when he's like, going through withdrawals. He already tripping. All right. My master told me, paws don't move without a head. Beat the head and the rest will follow. Oh, I didn't even think about that. He's young, so he can't draw the sword the entire way. It's part of me, my weapon, Kotatsu. When it is drawn the end of the year, it will not return to its sheath until it has spilled blood. This is one of my favorite lines, like, not from this series, but like just from the samurai flicks in general. I love the idea of a sword that will not be like put down unless it spills blood. Like that shows up a lot in like actual supernatural series, but I like it the most when it's in a non-supernatural series, when it's just like, no, like this is a weapon. This weapon will not get put away until it kills someone. It's kind of like I think there's not really like a Western equivalent of that. Like no one pulls out a gun and then says, all right, well, I'm not putting this gun away until someone dies or until I shoot someone. I'm sorry that I'm taking these insane tangents when the series itself is genuinely amazing. I think it's because, like, there's so much going on. I need to take the edge off myself. Maybe I should use some catnip myself to calm down. Or no, that's not what catnip does. Anyways, I love this shot. This shot screams peace. Like, especially because I assume this is from a cat's eye view. Like, this must have been Norichio just kind of like laying in the bushes at his master's place, looking up at, like, especially this. There's just the idea that he's so close to a butterfly that he can see all this detail, but it's not running away, like it's not fluttering away because he's so at peace. That's beautiful. Okay, so the red giant is another, like, it's a person. It is apparently, I assume, the person who slayed his own master. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is a page I remember. Also, because Takei uses, like, he draws a lot of influence from Western comics. I actually don't know if this was like typeset by Viz or not Viz, whoever has this, or if this was done by Takei himself. Because I imagine that It might have been typesets, but I don't know. Because it fits really well if that's the case. Which is really strange because, like, usually I'd say for a series, especially for a samurai series, I don't like the idea of redrawing sound effects for a samurai series where, like, the brushstrokes are a very important part of it. Or, like, it's part of the aesthetic. Because then, like, if you try to write, like, English using brushstrokes, it looks really bad. And if you just try to get, like, something else that kind of approximates the same feel, it's not always correct. But this is perfect. This works so well. I can't imagine this wasn't like this in the original. Oh, but it can't be, because I can't imagine Hiroyuki Takei would have done this. Like, even though he has, like, a lot of experience with, Western comics and, like, with, like, writing English sound effects in a way that looks really cool. I cannot imagine that he would do this for a samurai series. Oh, my God. What a what an insanely violent metaphor. Like, I think we're gonna cut right to, like, those kids being butchered, right? Yeah, they're done. They're all done. Who are these cats? I thought it was the Red Warrior. Like, completely high out of his mind on catnip. He had no idea that he was fighting multiple people at all, and yet he managed to destroy all of them. A prayer for your souls. Yeah, they're dead. They're just straight up dead. I'm honestly so surprised that what was his name? Amemura? That he's still alive, of all things. I guess that's the catnip talking. Like, the fact that this kid managed to survive is insane. Some cats commit atrocities too cruel to bear, deeds that are truly infeline. I, the humble Shishiwaka, shall slay him for you. Oh, man. I can't tell if Shishiwaka here is a male or female cat at all. I mean, it could be. It doesn't really matter. But, like, this is the first time I've seen someone who is actually sort of androgynous in this art style. Or not in this art style. I've seen a lot of androgynous people in Hiroyuki Takei's art style. But I mean, like, in this series specifically. This is the first really androgynous cats. Shishiwaka-sama! Alright, so yeah, he's the spoiled brat, but the girls don't like him. The girls like Shishiwaka. Also, I assume Shishiwaka is a guy then. Slaying evil wherever he goes. A beautiful sword's feline of justice. His name is Norway. I can't imagine how else you would say that. Norway? I guess Norway instead of Norway. Norway sounds too weird. Allow me to apologize for the discourtesy shown to you by these Shishishi cats. Oh, that's a beautiful pun. Amemura Shorts. That was his name. Amemura Shorts. Right. Did he buy for chance? Looks something like this. Ooh, he's got a wanted poster. Shelter, verdure, feathered creatures to be found in great measure. Again, very, very, like, samurai-esque, but I think this is so clever that, like, in a normal samurai story, like, you do have, like, not a normal one. I've watched a lot of samurai movies. Like, you have, the samurai who can subside on, like, basically nothing, like a few grains of rice. But with him, it works so well because, like, they are cat-sized. And so a grain of rice, like, cooked is actually kind of big. Like, it's not that big. It's still not nearly enough to fill him up, but, like, just... Oh, that's such a cool... I love it. I love this series. Alright, so... That sparrow is taking the rice. That's a really small sparrow, then. Like, if we assume that the rice is like, that's normal rice size, that Noichiro is, like, a small cat, then this is a real small sparrow. Right? That's gotta be like a hummingbird. Oh my god, that's... Okay, I was not expecting that. That does make sense, though, because, again, cats, and the series does seem to be, like, taking into consideration all the, like, real traits of cats. Cats need meat to survive. Like, they are obligate carnivores. Cats need taurine in order to survive, and they cannot make taurine themselves. So yeah, he used that grain of rice to lure in a sparrow. Oh my gosh, that's brilliance. To roast birds on holy grounds, the very image of extreme evil. Even that, though, like, I see... This is also, like... this isn't something I've seen from a samurai film before, but it's something I could see, definitely. Like, I've seen a lot of them that, venerate the idea of, like, a shrine, and hey, like, let's not fight on the shrine. But I've never considered the idea of, like, eating on a shrine to be a bad idea. Because, like, sure, you might be, like, desecrating in the sense of like, oh, you're making it unclean or you're doing something unclean here. But I feel like if a shrine is meant to protect you, then the guardian spirit of that shrine, assuming that you've paid it proper respect, it should be fine with letting you like cook food on it, right? I shall lend you my sword. Wait until he's asleep, then use it to slay him. Huh. Okay, that's not what I expected. I thought Shishiwaka was going to be a very like honor-bound cat. Like this could also be honorable in a sense, but I don't think so because he specifically said, wait until he's asleep and then cut his head off using my sword. I feel like he's definitely setting him up. Like he knows that Norichio is going to be able to immediately kill him in his sleep, and then he'll use that opening in order to attack. Something like that. He'll soon enter the world of dreams. Once he is eaten, he will become drowsy. That is how cats are. Ah. Okay. It seems like Short here is like he's got some misgivings. Like it's not just the sense of like, oh, it's cowardly. It's like when he's in there, when like in the moment, he can't do it. He's finding it very difficult to do it. Doggone it, he's right. I'll do it. The old Tom had no right to kill my buddies. When I sleep, he appears, the Red Warrior. Oh my gosh. And like, right now, with the sword still above his head, he's just, like, he does not care in the slightest. He is so calm. Okay. Make my presence undetectable while awake, so I never want for food. I was there holding a grain of rice, but not even the birds took notice of me. So it wasn't even that it was a dumb bird. It was specifically like, it's not even that he was so calm. It's that he's so tired all the time. He's so tired. He's like halfway between life and death. Because every time he sleeps, he has that nightmare. It's a very appropriate ability for a cat who keeps living though dead. It's hitting every single spot that I want. Oh my god. You've gone and forgotten one piece of advice. What are you doing with that katana? Right, it's another cat's weapon. It's not his weapon. He cannot slay Norichio using someone else's weapon. Yeah. A prayer for your soul, indeed. I guess this is absolutely desecrating the statue. So yeah, Norichio probably does not care about the gods. I mean, he already said he didn't. He had one god, he lost that god, he lost his master, and then after that, he was willing to slay a god for him, so... Yeah, I guess he doesn't care that much about, especially cat deities. Wait. Okay, never mind. Holy shit. Alright, so he did do what I was expecting. Shishiwaka went in for the kill while Amimura was just a distraction. There's no such thing as cowardice in these piddling murder games. This is true. Like, yeah, swordplay will never be anything more than the art of killing. All those fancy sword fights are, in a way, like the sort of... I don't want to say gentrification. That's absolutely the wrong word. But, like this downplaying of what it meant to use the sword in the past. In the past, like, swordplay, especially among samurai, wasn't that honorable. It was, like, just murder. It was straight up just murder. It was, like, killing innocent people a lot of the time. And so I can see this, like, the dishonorable, like, more realistic samurai versus Norichio, who feels like a samurai out of legend. Like, basically every single chapter, he does something new that reminds me of a different samurai flick. Oh, wait, what? There are declawed cats in this world? That could be a metaphor, though. It could just be like, declawed as in like peaceful cats, as opposed to like, cats who have actually had their cats like their claws like ripped off or cut, which really bothers me. Again, I'm very worried about getting a cat because like, what if I get a cat who doesn't like to sit around for getting his claws clipped? Because I refuse to declaw my cat. I'm gonna have to like clip its nails every single like week. I loathe the idea that murder has an aesthetic. In order to be myself, I've always chosen my way of life. That's a really cool way of putting it. Like, I loathe the idea that murder has an aesthetic. Like, the reason why he's fine with, doing something cowardly or something that is just, not fair is because, like, murder shouldn't be glorified. And so he's willing to fight in a very unglorified way. I behave appropriately in front of the Mollies, of course. If the she-cat's cries thunder across the nation, then my name will reach greater lords, and those lords will in turn make use of the Molly's voices. Thus I shall never return to nothingness, not even in death. My name will remain as the eternal, beautiful swords feline. I hate him, but I love him. Like, I love his concept, but I don't like him as a person, but I understand I'm not supposed to like him as a person. Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna survive this. Help me, please. Oh, oh my god. Yeah, this, like, there's no good aesthetic to this. Oh, oh, oh. Now it'll be a little easier to get out of here. He's gonna run, right? He's gotta just run. Just run. Shishiwaka-san. Oh, it's personal now. He splattered his blood into his eyes. The belt from his katana. It's faded, but there's no mistaking this crest. Huh. Okay. Who was his former master? Like, we know his former master is gone now, but something about him is still incredibly important. Also, actually, let me go back to that shrine for a moment. Okay, no, it's not the same. I was gonna say, I was wondering if this paw symbol, like, it looks kind of like a mix between a paw and like brass knuckles. And I was wondering, is that the same symbol? But no, it's not. It's not quite the same. It's different enough. Ah, the crows are cawing. Ah, like they can't even ignore him here. He's just dying meat now to them. The Pompey Sass arc so far has been fantastic. Can't sell to a corpse, not even medicine. Is that a dick? Who's pissing? Who's pissing? I don't understand who's pissing. Like, that's definitely, yeah. But who is that then? This stiff's been left here an entire day, honestly. Because, like, I mean, it could have been one of the cats, but... I really want to know who in the world pissed on him. Yeah, ever since the Great Civil War, spurred on by the people's rival warlords, many people died in that war, and many cats got caught in the crossfire. So yeah, that's the symbol of his master. I like how a lot of these are, like, they're all cat-based, but they're not all the exact same. Like, they're, like, that one also is kind of paw-shaped, but it's very distinctively different. Or, like, yeah, that's a cat. I think a lot of these are supposed to be based on, like, you know, actual family seals, but just, you know, catified a little. Is that supposed to be a butthole? Right, cats were always a willful species. We refuse to let anyone control us. It makes no difference to us who rules the world. Ah, that's so... Like, this really does cut at that aesthetic of, you know, the traveling warrior. And this idea of, like, oh, well, you know, they used to be free, but then different lords started buying them all up. They became, you know, they started becoming nothing more than, like, you know, like, paid warriors paid to, you know, protect a specific lord's land. They were no longer, you know, traveling warriors. They were no longer sellswords or, you know, ronin or what's the oh, hedge knights. I love the idea of the hedge knight as well. Like, just that idea of, like, yeah, like, the samurai were in the end domesticated, and in the same way, these cats were slowly, like, lured in by the promise of food and care and money and honor. A cat who's been kept by a person can never live in the world of strays again. The end of, like, you dying in a ditch with no one to see you off to the next life. Oh, and bring it all the way around. I pray for your soul. Oh, nope, he's not quite done. He's not quite done yet. It's made me feel alive again. Oh, no matter how low I sink, I can't afford to die until it's time. Yeah, like, because of that aesthetic, and, like, I genuinely don't think he's gonna, like, I think he will die in, like, the final volume, and I think he will die at his final resting place, but I cannot imagine he's gonna die before that. There's no way, no matter what happens. He's gotta pull through. Like, he is halfway between life and death at this point. No matter how much you kill him, you can't kill him any more than he's already dead, right? Like, you can't kill what's already half dead. Okay, so yeah, he might just use him as a, like, a bargaining tool to get some cash out of his dad. I'm so thrilled. Even covering my waist with litter fills me with glee. That is something I wanted to point out if they didn't mention it before. I really do appreciate that they have, like, you know, bags of litter here. And that when they use the bathroom, they do, in fact, like, squat down, you know, poop in the litter, and then cover it with litter. Ah, like, it's so perfect. It's so perfect. And since you walked off with my sword, I didn't have any other options. That being the case, I came to get it back. And at the moment, even you are exposed. I pray for your soul. Yeah, this, again, not very honorable, but hey, you gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do. That being the case, I came to get it back. Oh my god. Peach Fuzz deep penetration agents. Did that go up his anus? Yep, he did it. He did it. He whittled the stick into a hook and shoved up his ass. If he tried to yank it out, it'll rip him a new one for sure. Oh my god. Noriachio has no chill. Though to be fair, after what happened to him, I cannot imagine that he would have to have any chill. But still, that's beautiful. That was so perfect. Like, it's something you could do in a series involving humans, but it'd be so much more difficult. Like, unless you specifically like set it out as like, you know, a squat potty, I suppose, like a squat potty that also is just a giant hole, which I know some places do have. So I guess you could do it, but just it makes so much more sense because they're cats. Like, you don't immediately look at that and go like, oh, someone's gonna jump out of there. Whereas like if a human being does that, like in any fiction I've ever read that has like, you know, one of those like holes in the ground to use shit into, I've always thought like, okay, someone's gonna jump out or that person's gonna fall into it. Absolutely. But with cats, because it's such like because that novelty is still there, like I can't tell whether like, oh, is that setting up for something or is it just like a little facet of this world? He was even more terrifying than he was smelly. All right, Shirya Abihei. These are some very distinct names, by the way. Like I assume they have to be puns somehow, but I can't tell any of the puns from my garbage knowledge of Japanese. This guy is tough as sissel, and he'll do whatever dirty deeds he has to get what he wants. In what world would you ever find a cat who would hide in the kitty litter at the lavatory just to stab a guy in the ass? Oh, and that means he also has his bell, right? Like, he would have stolen that back as well. He doesn't give a crap about feline life. Oh, man. Poor little shorty here isn't going to shit right for weeks. For weeks. Are you too scared to ever take a dump again? Alright. I sincerely hope you won't try anything stupid, or else you'll get yourself hurt. Huh. He leaves without ever asking my name. So I assume he's got to be like a disgraced samurai or something. Like, you know, he turned to the monk life after being disgraced or after losing his own master or something like that. Like, that's one aesthetic I really do like. The idea of a monk who, like, has run away from his prior, like, horrible life, but who is also legitimately a monk. Like, I hate the idea of a monk who is not actually a monk. That's the worst idea. But, like, something like this, where, like, he seems to, like, to follow the tenets of, you know, being a priest or like being a monk, but at the same time, like, you know, he is like running from something. I really like that. So that's a good aesthetic. So sorry, gentle Toms. I know we had a deal, but I sent him off in the opposite direction. Oh wow! So it was an ambush from the start. You can't assume anyone is dead until you've seen him cut in two. Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! So that's the Noriachio Littlefold was telling me about. Meow. Oh boy. Okay, who in the hell is this? Are we getting a samurai girl? Or not a samurai girl. We've got a lot of samurai already. But are we getting a ninja girl, I think? Because like the all black makes me think ninja. That would be... Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, I am very excited. I trust all Tamitava. Right. As a cat, Noriachio pronounces the prayer with a bit of a feline accent. That's such a perfect way of doing it. Like I especially like that they didn't try to put in a U there for like, you know, the purr. Like that's already a good purr sound. I feel like if they put the U in, it would be a bit too much. It wouldn't look good. Whereas like this, the way it's written looks really good to me. It is very pleasing. But yeah, this is where I like the series is already blowing my mind from like the very first page. But this really blew my mind because yeah, like shamisen are made from cat skins. Like there are so many little things involving cats in Japanese literature that, or like in Japanese culture that they could tie in, and I'm so excited. Like I don't want to guess things specifically because I feel like they're gonna come up, and I don't want to be that guy who like calls something and then goes, "Oh yeah, called it." Right. So he still uses his childhood name because I assume he feels like he hasn't really grown up. But yeah, Samon Umon. So LNR. Oh, what? What? Yeah, it is somewhat important to the theme of the chapter, the whole dream thing. Passport to Dreamland. That's actually super clever because I didn't catch that at all. I don't watch the Travel Channel. I especially don't watch the American Travel Channel. But like this still obviously hit me as like, yeah, these are clearly puns, and the puns still made sense to me. Like that's a perfect way to do an obscure reference. And like it translated all the meaning of the original perfectly. Oh, that's so good. Okay. Yeah, I was curious about this because whenever I think of a kotatsu, I think of, the foot warmer, like the heated table, especially among household cats. But okay. Oh, wait, what? Okay, so I assumed, okay, so it's a pun and, they include the word tiger because it's vicious. But I didn't think about that. A feline friend can be also an effective foot warmer. Oh my gosh, the layers, the layers. Like, this is something I loved in Ultimo, was that, like, the series, Ultimo itself is, in the best sense, it's sort of like a thought experiment. A thought experiment turned into a manga. And as such, like, there are a lot of like hidden layers of meaning throughout the entire series. And I love a series that can do that because I feel like a lot of series do include like bits of hidden meaning, but it's to the point where it's like I don't know if it's a stretch or not. But with a series like this, I feel like literally any meaning I read into it is probably intentional. Like that's how layered it is. Like I don't think there are any unintentional bits in it. Ah, that didn't quite translate as well because it was like near rhymes. But okay, I can kind of like I can see what they were going with that. That would have been very difficult to do. So I understand. I understand. Hmm. Oh fuck! I didn't think about that. Right, 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 right. I was thinking of like a Shinto shrine, where like but even in Shinto, actually, no, like there is the whole cleanliness thing. But yeah, Buddhism is a non-killing religion. Like, oh, I didn't think about that. I'm retarded. I am retarded. But yeah, the idea of killing something and eating it there would be great disrespect. Right. The whole like chant to get rid of spirits. Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Honestly, this is kind of something that I kind of wish they left untranslated. If only because I feel like I don't know. I guess that's just my weeb side showing, but I feel like a lot of people do know about the whole Kuwabara thing. Like that is something that has been like disseminated into, I guess, just otaku culture, not really like general readership culture. But I feel like mulberries, like that itself is really strange. Like that needed a translator note anyways. So why not just put in Kuwabara? Because like it doesn't even have a double meaning. It's just like that chance. Calls him a tanuki, right? Sengoku Jai. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh, Nekogahara has a pun on Sekigahara. Okay, genius, absolutely genius. All right. Also, I'm probably not going to read Arslan. I really like Full Metal Alchemist. I think I might check out Silver Spoon because it seems really interesting and very different. But I don't really want to check out Arslan, mostly because it's an adaptation. Like I really like Arakawa's work, but I'm not sure how I feel about her like adapting someone else's work. But then again, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I've heard good things about it. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, that was Nekogahara Stray Cat Samurai Volume 1. It is everything I could have possibly wanted and so much more. I am so happy that I'm able to read the series. Like, that's really it. It's not even that I like the series, it's that I'm happy to have the chance to read it. I'm happy this exists in English. I am happy that I exist in this world so that I could read Nekogahara because it is everything I could have possibly wanted. I was gonna save this until after Ultimo, but I'm glad I didn't because, man, it's so good. It is so fantastic. I'm not going to say anything else because, I mean, you understand. I've said basically everything I wanted to say, and I'm not really good when it comes to like recaps or like, final thoughts. So I'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching this, or I hope you guys are reading the official release. I don't think there are fan scans, so I guess you do have to read the official release. But yeah, check it out. I'm definitely going to buy the other 2 volumes. I'm probably going to use, like, right now I'm using a rip in order to read it, but I will buy it. I like getting rips specifically because I can rip things myself, but it's a pain and sometimes the pages are misaligned. But like just because I'm reading a rip, don't think that I'm not buying the series. I'm definitely buying this because even though I know this is a short series, I'm hoping that Hiroyuki Takei just makes more manga because he is amazing. He is a legend. Anyways, that's enough for now. Take care, sweet dreams, and stay kitty. Bye for now. Wait a minute. Why did I come up with a different ending for this one? This is the one series where Nya Nya makes no sense as an ending. So bye for now. Nya Nya.